Hello everyone. I hope you are doing great. I am Kushal Kar from Pulsaro Agency and I would be really grateful for Think Global Conference to having me invite me to speak over here. So today we'll go through how to deliver a great customer experience to drive your business growth. So this is my topic and after 20 minutes of this session we'll have a Q&A session right after this. So I hope you are having great time and let's just enjoy the things going to unfold. So let me start off with a simple question like which are the top 5 brands that you consider to be your favorite ones and you visit on a regular basis. Like think in a very serious note, like you go to a restaurant and you like to visit it on a regular basis, like you go to your hairstylist and you like to visit on a regular basis. So there might be any top 5 brands that you visit them on a regular basis. So just keep that in mind. I will get back to you in the coming slides. So let's just move on to the presentation. Like before telling you what a great customer experience is, let me share you a story of what a great experience is not about. Like what is not a great customer experience. So this is a story about ICICI Bank and me. Like I was a customer. I was not a customer. I was just transferring my money to my brother in ICICI Bank and accidentally I entered a wrong account number. So all my money that I was supposed to transfer to my brother's account went to a completely different account. So over the 2 months, like we hassled, we talked with the bank managers and we really wanted to know like what is the root cause behind it and what is happening, like what are the delays, but we didn't get any confirmation, like we didn't get any support from the ICICI Bank and we suddenly realized that there is nothing that they can do without like even escalating the problem, like there was nothing that they were able to do. So in my mind, like in my mind I cannot consider ICICI Bank to be like a great company who is supporting their customers, like they are not even trying to resolve the issue and there are many such issues that goes unanswered. So there are many ways that this experience is considered to be a not a happy customer experience. So that's why I want to share this example. So this is not something that you go and just become a part of it. Like this is something that you need to consider from your roots. Like this is not something that this say like let's just have a customer experience and a team and they will handle it. Like this needs to be embedded in your roots and this needs to be considered from your ground up and then it needs to be uplifted from there. So this is how you need to consider. And why should you care for this? Why should you care for customer experience? Because your competition is doing the same thing. Like your competition is constantly trying to improve its process. They are trying to get the best customer experience out there to the same customer that you are trying to reach. So that's why you need to be really part of it, because until and unless you are helping that customer get his maximum out of it, you are not going to get their business out of it. So who is getting benefit out of this? Like you are not getting benefit, your customer competition is not getting out any benefit. The customers are, like the customer is getting the best cherry in the market and they are getting the cream quality response, quality experience that they are expecting. So customer is the king over here and they are getting the most benefit out of this. So let's just get right deep into this, what we have came for. How can we create a great customer experience in 5 simple steps. So before going deep into this topic, let me just clarify this from the very first step, like what is the difference between customer service and customer experience, because many misinterpret it and many people don't understand the difference behind it. So the simple difference is that customer service is a reactive type of a thing where you greet a customer when there is some problem, like hello, how are you, I hope you are having a great day, and after you resolve the issue, thank you for having me, have such a good lovely day, thank you, hello, happy. So those are the things that you are reacting when a customer asks you something. And on the other hand, customer experience is a proactive thing when you proactively decide that what are the issues, what are the problems that your customer would rather face, and that's how you create a whole new different perspective where you anticipate and you solve the issue before it is coming up to your customers. So this is the different act of doing it. And as I asked you a question earlier, like what are the top 5 brands that you go on a regular basis? So you have few companies in your mind, few businesses that you visit on a daily basis. So what you need to consider that how these companies are moving forward. Like if you want 2-minute bagel, like you will need to purchase it and you just need to go out in the day. You need fast service. So fast service type of a thing is given by a company and you expect the same thing from them, then this is the part that you really consider them as a helpful business. And then if you go to the affordability part, like if you expect IKEA, then IKEA is only about affordability. If you see them, their core philosophies are based upon that. This is a predictable way a businesses work. And if you see luxury, then you see Mercedes. Like Mercedes is all about luxury, the way you move into the lobby and how you present it, like how you feel and interact with the car. The whole experience is very luxurious. Also the quality part, like a handcrafted product compared to a very mass produced product. So there is quality built into it. User friendly, like if you are visiting a website and you get very slick results, like you get 1, 2, 3 and you get the sales done. So this is how interactive website, interactive businesses work. And customer service is a part of it, like it is not the whole thing. Customer experience is the whole thing and customer service is a part of it. It doesn't mean it doesn't hold a value, but it is a part of it, of the whole customer experience. So this is the key difference behind it. While interacting with the customers and greeting them is a nice thing, but you need to be predictable and you need to be positioned in a way that your customer expects what you are doing. So let's just move on to the deeper topic, like second point is create a hybrid experience. Like creating a hybrid experience, what does that mean? Like let's just consider that we are combining two people, the father of shopping mall, Victor. So what Victor did in 1952, that he created an idea where everyone can purchase everything under one roof. So that's how the invention of shopping malls came into existence. Like people come to the shopping mall, a traditional way of retail outlets. Now it is combined with father of internet, Vint. So combining the e-commerce, the digital part with the traditional way, if we combine both of them things, then you get the experience that is called a hybrid experience. So brick and mortar combined with the digital e-commerce platform, and that's how big brands like Nike, like they opened their third store in Paris, where they created this hybrid experience where the digital presence of Nike combined with the physical brick and mortar, and they combined it and provide a hybrid experience to them. So this is a new way of approaching things where you create a experience of both the worlds. Like there are some benefits of online presence and there are benefits of a traditional outlet. When you combine this both of the thing, and you get a cohesive system that the business are moving forward. So that's how you create a hybrid experience for them. Same way Microsoft and Kruger, like Microsoft use their Azure technology, their backend software, and integrated with the retail outlet where shelves are digitally shown over there, and this is a combined experience that the business are moving forward. So you need to consider that same thing and how can you create a hybrid experience for your business. Then moving on to the next topic, like reduce the friction between your customers. Like nothing is simple. Like if I consider a simple story of a working couple who are expecting to go to the store at 10 a.m. but the sales manager doesn't come and you open the store at 10:15, no issues. Then they move on to go to the purchase dairy products, but you see that the products are expired. No issues. Like your sales manager says, I'm sorry, we'll just replace it, we'll give you a complimentary gift. All right, no issues. And then they go to the cashier account and they go for the billing, and they say that cashier says that the product that you have purchased has a labeling issue, like it's misprinted. So like there are so many barriers that you are creating in front of your customer. So what do you think that this customer will return back to you for purchasing the same thing? Do you even consider for a slight moment that after creating such a hassle for them, you are going to retain that customer? Definitely no. Like they are not going to waste any more time and their hard-earned money and their efforts to get such a bad experience. They are not going to do this. Now consider this for an online website where you can't even see your customers. Like how will you anticipate what the customers pain points are? How will you know that they are getting frustrated by your user experience? So think about it and how you can solve the problems of the physical world and the online world. So I will just go right into it. Firstly, the first solution is understanding your customer's pain point. Without understanding what your customer is facing, you will not able to know like what are the pain points of there and how you will resolve it without knowing it. So first you need to understand what are the pain points. Second point is invest in the user flow. Like understand what the user journey is going to be in the online world. You need to consider that the 3-step process of getting like anything that they want to purchase needs to be completed into 1, 2, 3 steps. If you go to 4, 5 steps, they are not going to take interest in it and you are going to lose that customer. So you need to invest heavily into the user flow for if you have a very huge online presence. Also have a clear communication with your employees, with your top management, your regular employees and your employees who are constantly in touch with your customers. Like there is nothing that you can do to say that I over communicated, because there is no such word as over communication. You need to consider that what you are saying is clearly delivered to your customer, because if you don't tell them, how will they are going to communicate them? And following this next point, train your staff. Like without training your staff, without telling them your core philosophies, how will they describe that core philosophies to your customers? How will you deliver that same message that you are thinking in your mind, delivered to your customers, delivered to the doorsteps? So this you need to consider. Also give your employees the power, like give them the power to execute things, give them the power to interact with their customers and give them a gift, give them some sort of a solution, give them the experience, talk with them, have a genuine conversation. Those are some of the things, like you need to give your employees some power, the feedback, because you are not going to do it. Your employees are going to talk with them. You are just going to give them the direction for it. Also anticipate what are the problems are going to be before the customer is asking you for it. Like you not need to be waiting for your customer to say that this is the problem. You need to be proactive enough to find a solution, find a problem and find the solution for it before your customers even knows it. And lastly, let your satisfied customer talk about it, talk about you, like because word of mouth is not dead, because word of mouth was relevant 50 years ago and it is relevant now also. So keep focus on that and move along together, because this is not a one-time journey. You need to treat your customers as if you are running a marathon and not a sprint. So these are some of the things that you need to consider while you are reducing the friction between them. Now the fourth point is put more people into the system. Clear as that. I didn't need to mention like what is the importance of putting more people, because survey says that the number one frustration that the customer are facing right now when you are interacting with your brand is the long waits, the waiting period of responding the queries of the customer. Like this is the number one frustration that the customer is facing. Like other issue that customer is facing is that employees doesn't understand what the customer is asking. Like they don't know what they are asking, what they want. Other things like issue getting unanswered and too much automated responses. These are some of the things that customers are really frustrated about, and many extensive studies have been conducted understanding the same thing. So put more people into the system, have genuine one-to-one conversation with them, talk about it, Also ask them to be the part of the solution. Don't let them become the part of the problem, because customer really likes to be part of the solution, not the problem. And moving to the next COVID phase, 58% would like to interact with you, like to move forward with your brand when you have some sort of a customer experience built for them. So you need to consider how you need to move forward after COVID. And the final step that I want to mention is improve your feedback loop. Like, nothing is much more important than improving the feedback loop, because gone are the gut feelings, gone are the market trends, but the main focus that you need to consider is understanding, getting the feedback from your customers. So that is the first thing that you need to keep in mind. So how do you collect that feedback? So run surveys. That's the most common thing that you need to do when you are asking for them, because many people, you will be surprised, many people are willing to give you that survey. Many people are willing to improve your product or service. Conduct an unscripted interview. Like, you don't need to be like very scripted format. Be a human and talk with them in a genuine way. That's how you interact with your customers, and that's how you get the feedback from them. And for the digital companies, like for only totally web companies, like look at the analytics, look at the data that you are getting from your website, your social channel, how they are interacting with them, how is your social engagement, how they are commenting, how they are interacting, what are the issues that they are DMing you. Think about it and analyze it and act upon it. Then if you have a physical store, then you can hire a mystery shopper where you don't tell your employees that we have hired this person to know that how you are interacting with each and every customer. So you can do that and you can get valuable feedback out of it. Also, if you are a large company, then you need to consider the sentimental value, like what are your user sentiment, what are the feeling when they see your product or service. So these are some of the things that you can do when you are going to track, you are going to collect, how you are going to collect the customer feedback. So let's just quickly recap the whole things, the 5 steps that I talked about earlier. First thing is customer versus service. Customer is reactive and customer experience is proactive. And then second is create hybrid experience, like create the combination of traditional brick and mortar solution with the e-commerce benefits of the e-commerce. Like, this is the second step. Third step is reduce friction between your customers, like reduce the barriers that are coming between you and your customers. Fourth step is going to be put more in the system, like have more one-to-one with your customers and put more people into the system. And the fifth step is going to be improve your feedback loop, like improve how you are going to collect that data and how you are going to move forward. So finally, ending off with a quote, like building a good customer experiences doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, because nothing is happening in this world by design. By accident, you design the whole system, you design the whole customer experience strategy, and that's how you move forward. Like, this is not something for rocket science. Everyone can do it, but you just need to put in a little bit of effort to do this. So finally, like what we do in our company at Pulsero, we are a creative agency. So like we use the combination of logic, creativity and communication. These are 3 things that we do on our daily basis on every project that we do, and that's how we move forward. Like, we do not take only one thing into account, because everything needs to be taken into the consideration, the logical part, the emotional part and the creativity part. So that's how we move forward. So if you have any queries, if you have any doubt, and if you would like to connect with me, then head on to our website pulsero.agency, or you can WhatsApp me or you can email me. Anything I'm comfortable at, and I will be willing to answer any of your question in the next Q&A session. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you did a wonderful things over here. I hope that I made my message very clear and you got so many steps to move forward when you look at the customer experience from now on. If you want this PDF, and you can mail me, I will share you the PDF link, then you can download it and you can get the whole experience in a very brisk manner. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let's just see you on the Q&A session. Thank you.